My name's Jason Lavender. This is Brian Parker. We're coming to you guys today from Fleming's Steakhouse in Austin, Texas. And we wanted to kind of just set up the purpose of a decision maker luncheon and kind of where it came from and really how to posture it. And this is something that Brian and I have been doing together for a little over a year, I guess now, and building together. And this is something that my wife Casey and I, this has been a pillar of our business as we've built our agency. And one of the most important things about a decision maker event, I think, is a little bit misunderstood because people hear DM event and they think that it's just for HR directors. But really the beauty of this event is the fact that it really meets every prospecting need that we have in Legal Shield and the business solutions facet of our business. Every prospecting thing that we do in the way of new groups, small business plans, sellers, B2B professionals, insurance professionals, and also servicing existing groups. So there's really 4 different groups of prospects at an event like this. And we'll kind of talk a little bit more about those, but it's really all 4 of those. So first, we're all out prospecting every day for new cases, right? New employer groups, new small business sales. Certainly they are the first target that we would have. And we'll have some language on how to invite for those and what that could look like for you to send emails and talk to them on the phone, et cetera, et cetera. The second group of people that we want to invite are B2B sellers. This is insurance professionals, B2B sellers like ourselves, people that have professional background, financial services, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great venue for them to come hear the information. The third is existing cases. This is an excellent way to service existing groups. We just had 2 of our existing clients give incredible testimonials today, which you'll probably hear in a subsequent video. Just having them here is very impactful because they're giving their testimony, their experience with working with Legal Shield. Instead of the person at the front of the room, you're hearing it from an existing client. And then the last person are what I refer as is referral partners. These are people maybe that are not interested in marketing our services or being an associate in our business, but they're great referral channels. They know a lot of business people in their centers of influence. These are people that can lead us to more groups or more sellers. I had one of those here as a prospect today. She does consulting for small businesses, and it was a great fit. She's already told me of 2 or 3 people she can think of just from hearing a 20-minute overview today. So those are really the 4 groups of people. Brian, you have anything to kind of add on?
Now, what better way to bring a potential B2B seller like ourselves? If you were going to bring a Brian Parker or Jason Lavender to this event, and you were to see a room full of prospects, a room full of deals waiting to close, and you hear the size of these groups, and you see the excitement, you hear people are interested, you see the surveys, you see the interaction. What better way to bring a potential B2B seller, a recruiting prospect, than to an event like this at a high-end, super high-end place? What this place is not a networking event, is it?
No.
I mean, we do not encourage people to walk around and work the room and introduce themselves as anything other than they're here for the information, the food. We certainly pick a high-end place for the food, but it's all about coming here, having the information, come with your sponsor, the person that invited you, but a very structured, very coordinated event. It's not real loosey-goosey. It's not like your typical business briefing, would you say at all?
Not at all.
It's an absolute, total different dynamic, but it's geared around sharing our information and guys like Jason or myself, people in different markets that are accomplished enough and can carry the room, but defer to you guys, defer to the associates that have brought guests for clarifying information afterwards. We don't talk about compensation during these events.
Never.
We don't talk about network marketing practices or procedures or business briefings or things that might seem direct sales channel-y. We talk about employee benefit space, we talk about small business plans. It's a professional event.
Absolutely. And so the premise of this environment for these 4 groups of prospects is to be high level. It's intended to be just an overall concept of A, what it is that we do, B, how we work, and then C, just giving them the concept of what's in it for them. Why do they want to offer this to their employees or their small businesses or their clients that they have? And it's exactly that. It's just enough information to whet the appetite of the prospects that attend. It's not intended to give the full meal deal and get out fact sheets and run through everything. It's completely high level, more bullet point. This event is geared towards C-level people that are fast paced, they want the information quickly, and they'll disseminate through it. They'll ask questions at the end of the event if you did not answer what it is that they need to hear. And that's really part of the magic of the event is you do a quick presentation, about 20-25 minutes should be all that the actual presentation is, from top to bottom. And then the rest of the time is Q&A. You know, you have times like today where we only had 3 or 4 questions come out of it. You've got other times that you'll spend another 20-25 minutes just on their questions. But allowing them to ask questions at the end allows us to customize the information in the order that they need to hear it, instead of us just talking at them with what we think they need to hear. And you know, that's kind of just sales 101 if you want to close a lot of business.
It all starts too high-end venue. Can't stress it enough. The venue we're at here is $40 a plate venue. The venue I have in Dallas is a $50 a plate venue. The venue had it before this establishment was $50 a plate venue. What we find is you will find prospects that will come for the food and the food alone. They're really not coming to be sold. They're maybe interested, obviously, or they wouldn't be showing up. But that carrot, at least you're going to get a good meal out of it. You'll get a great meal out of it. And then they'll see if there's an interest in having a secondary, more in-depth conversation. And that's really what we're about. This event is about creating the secondary sale so you can come to their office, develop that relationship, and hopefully close a sale at that point in time.
Yeah, and you develop a relationship with your venue as well. You know, I've been able to develop a great relationship with the fine dining coordinator here, and she takes incredible care of us and has been flexible the times we've needed it, and as well as the servers. You know, we have the same 2 or 3 servers that help us each time. We built a great relationship with them. I make sure and take care of them gratuity-wise, because we want them thinking, hey, it's Legal Shield coming in again with another venue. I'm glad to see that. That's going to bump my day today pretty considerably. So always take care of your servers that are there as well. It makes a big difference in the experience that your prospects have when they come as well.
Member testimonials are another huge thing. That's crucially important. Again, what better way to give validation to a HR prospect, a CFO that's in the room, a business owner, a potential B2B seller like ourselves in the room, than had a client like we had today. We had 2 testimonies given by 2 long-term clients. One was a broker that's been selling with Jansen and Casey for 8 years now, right? Mm-hmm. One was a client that's been around for 5 years, an HR director, and both gave really outstanding testimonies that were obviously not contrived or coerced or anything like that. They were just giving an honest evaluation of what their experience is with working with the associates, our company, and our product. And what better closing do you need? You don't need a letter at that point in time. You don't need anything else. You heard it with your own eyes and ears. And
absolutely. And you don't invite those existing clients by asking them to give a testimonial, because then they think that that's the only reason that you're inviting them, and it's not. The reason you're inviting them is to help service them, build the rapport with them, the continued rapport that we have to have, and let them get a refresher of the information. So I don't ask about sharing a testimonial until they're actually here at the event, and then I ask them very casually, hey, do you mind just sharing 30 seconds or so about your experience with working with us today? If you don't, it's totally cool, but I just thought I'd ask because you're here and there's some other folks here that I think that would resonate with. Do you mind doing that? 9 times out of 10, they say, absolutely, I've got no problems with that at all. But then there's no ulterior motives, people thinking that. And if they say no because they're not comfortable with it, hey, that's great. They're still here. They'll get the information. It's a chance for you to take care of them and continue to build that rapport. So
yeah, with a lot of those existing clients too, keep in mind in the last few years we've had legal plans change. We've had our identity theft plan changed. We have had some relaxed pricing and relaxed restrictions in some various states. And so it's a great time to invite your existing client base out. Say, listen, I know we haven't been able to talk about our new ID Shield product. Come to lunch at Fleming's on May 18th. And we can discuss what these changes are. You get a good meal, and we can see if it makes sense for you to migrate to those in the coming enrollment season. And so, with all the plan changes and everything we've had internally, it's a great time to communicate with your existing clients and spend some time meeting with them and deepening that relationship and hopefully getting more enrollments.
And then kind of the last thing to share with you about a DM event, it's really one of the most pivotal points of the event is towards the end, after you've done wrapped up and you're starting, you get your questions and everything, is to talk about the survey. The survey is literally the most powerful thing of the whole thing, because this is your leave behind. This is them telling you how they want you to follow up with them. If you don't collect surveys, you've missed a massive opportunity. A lot of people will come to lunch, be real excited about what you had to share. They'll leave lunch, and if you don't have a survey, you may never see them again. You may never talk to them again. The survey is your report card about what they thought about the host, what they thought about the information that was shared, and how do they want you to follow up with them. Is it a small business sale? Is it something for my clients if I'm an insurance professional or financial planner? Is it something for my employees? Is it for me personally? And so talk through that survey at the end. Make sure that you pass that out towards the end. Today when I did the venue, we had a lot of cameras here, and so I did things a little out of order because I just wasn't on my normal game. But it really doesn't matter. That's one of the great parts about this event is I'm really probably the only one, and my wife, Casey looks at it, she knew I was a little off my game, but it doesn't matter. We're human. You can shuffle some of the order of things here, but at the end, you want to make sure you get those surveys out. If you didn't pass them out in advance, pass them out at the end and tell everybody how important they are. Make sure that you iterate to them. You may have something on this one as well, but make sure that you let them know that you're not going to be spamming them when they give you that information and bugging them, because that's what people think when they're leaving their information. Just let them know. In fact, that's why we're asking you to do this, is so we're not trying to follow up with you on something that you don't want us to talk about. We want to reach out to you with the information that you're saying that you need for you.
Yeah, one of the things with the surveys, I think your very first luncheon that I came to a couple of years ago, when he passed out the surveys, it was, listen, I'm getting started in these in the marketplace, they're relatively new. I'd like some honest feedback from you. Not only that, you have some associates that have brought guests into this room, and they'd like to have the feedback as well on your honest feedback about how well we can do, because we want to improve. We want to give you guys the best information in the best order to see if there's really a value here for you and your company. And so presenting it that way is sort of a soft approach, because we want honest feedback. Sure, a lot of people put 5s because that's a nice thing to do, but really what we want is honest feedback, because we want to make them great. These are something that are constantly in iterations of change in some form or fashion, and so the survey is intended to give us honest feedback. And if you could pass that along to the speaker in your market too, that would be a fantastic tool to make sure we're all constantly improving our decision maker lunches.
And I can't express the venue enough as we kind of close here. You've got to have a place that people want to come to. A lot of people don't come, if we're just being candid. They don't come because they want to hear more about Legal Shield. They don't come necessarily because of you. They come because you're putting them into a high-end place that they're kind of excited about having lunch at, or to bring one of their colleagues at. And as a byproduct of that, they get the information that we want to make sure that they have. And so the end result for us ends up being the same, and the end result for them is they get a great lunch and end up with some indirect information. So make sure that you have a high-end venue. That's super important. And good luck, the best of luck for the events that you guys are hosting as you walk through this process with us. We're trying to bring you snapshots of what the venue should look like, how it should be postured, the tools to use for that, how to invite. We'll give you language and tools and PowerPoints to make this event in your area be as big of a success as it has been for us. I know Casey and I just here in the Austin area calculated up this last year, and we run over $500,000 worth of commissions into our marketplace through this one venue. I don't even know how many new sellers they brought on board through that, but that's just through commissions through the group channels that we've had and the brokers we've been able to partner with, and the brokers that then bring their clients to the next venue and come. So it's something that can grow over time if you'll really sow into it. And I know Brian and Abby, you guys have built the same thing in Dallas.
Commit to it. I wasn't big on these. 2 years ago is when we started our first ones. And I wasn't real big on it because it's nothing I had done before. I had really no idea about what it looked like. But what he told me was, you have to commit to at least 6 of them. Commit to 6 in a row monthly and let it build. Let your confidence grow, let your presentation skills grow, and you'll build into this sort of thing. So you may not fill the room the first time, second time, third time. Lock arms with other associates. I know I had 5 guests here at your luncheon here today. Jason plugs into mine. Lock arms with 5, 6, 7, 8 associates in your area and guarantee some guests there, but commit to these luncheons for a set period of time. Just don't do 1 or 2 to test the waters. Really commit to growing and building your business through this, and you'll be shocked at what the results are if you do it properly.